Merry meet guys, welcome back to my channel. Today or tonight or whenever I post this, I wanted to get back onto the YouTube Pagan challenge wheel. I've fallen off of it for a couple weeks. I guess I'd do that and answer a whole ton of them all together. This is what I did in my last video, and then after this video I'm gonna do maybe one or two more videos, so it's just not YouTube Pagan challenge videos and book reviews. There's some more personal stuff I'm gonna add into, tell you guys how I've been, and some stuff that I want to talk about. But beside that, in this video I wanted to go over questions on the YouTube Pagan Challenge for 2017, questions number 23 through question number 26, since this is the halfway mark through the year. We're in the 26th week of the year. So 23 is destiny, fate, luck, and chance. How much are we in control? I do believe in luck. Being lucky, having a string of bad luck, things like that. I'm not so sure I believe in fate, like things are destined to be. Sorry, I got necklaces, part of another video, that are down on my lap. I don't believe things are destined. I believe some things may be, but not all things. Everything, I think we all have the ability to change our future to what we want. And we all have the power to do so and to make it better for ourselves, or for, in some cases, some people make it worse, making bad decisions. But there's a lesson to be learned. So I think we do have control of our destiny and our fate. Luck and chance, I think, are synchronicities that, like, if you're attuned with the universe or your deity or the spirits you work with and you're working on stuff, things just kind of happen to go, things, no, they don't kind of, they just go your way. So I don't really believe in chance. I do believe that everything happens for a reason. I guess that's kind of contradictory, but I also believe that we are the captains of our own ship, if you want to put it that way. So yeah. Number 24. How do you know which deity you are supposed to worship or work with? I don't like the term worship. I'm reading a book now. It's a fantastic book. But they talk about assuming your own personal godhead and you're working with your own personal deity, and how he suggests you build a shrine to the deity and make offerings and worship him and be in submission or subservient almost to them. It could be a female or male. And for me, that just doesn't fit right. I mean, I do see the gods as a higher power. They're more powerful than us, but I don't see them being omnipotent. I don't see them being everywhere, knowing everything. I do believe that Source is omnipotent, where all the gods come from. Then they all are part of a fast. I see, and I've talked about this in a previous video, I see Source as like a huge diamond or a huge cut gemstone, where each deity from each pantheon is a different facet of that single gemstone. Or as the sun and the rays of the sun are different facets of deity, if you want to look at something like that. Another analogy for a source and deity. But how did I find, what was it again? How do you know which deity you're supposed to work with? For me, I chose. When I first started my practice, I didn't choose. I kind of got pushed on. With a friend, with my sisters, I met with, then worked with Gaia and the Green Man, and they're still relevant in my practice. I don't work with them as much, but they're still there. I think all the deities that you kind of work with, they kind of stay with you. They might not be like up front and forward, but they're still there. But when I moved down here to Charleston and I felt like out of it, since I was so close to the beach, and even when I was in high school, his myths, Poseidon's myths, It's hard to say. They always intrigue me. The three brothers of the Greek pantheon, Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon, they've always really intrigued me. Um, I loved all the different stories and things like that. So I went to start working. I started working with them. Um, they're a fascinating duo or fascinating trio to work with. Now, they're still with me. I've worked with a lot of different deities actually. Um, but now one is called out to me through meditation, and one is called out to me from ritual. So I'm and so it's kind of like where I believe we are drawn to a deity. Like if you were researching deities, and a name or their story just pops out at you, like, oh, that's really interesting. I really want to know more about that, or their name gets played over in their head. And I know it's kind of hard with some of the because there are some deities with some difficult sounding names. I know I butcher a couple, and I don't mean to. I apologize after I say them. Um, but I do believe that if you are attracted to their stories, they're trying to tell you something. If you're attracted to their name, their myths, there's that word again. Problem is I don't have a speech impediment, but um, if you're attracted to their stories or things like that, I do believe they're calling out to you. Um, I know everyone hops on the bandwagon with certain things, and one thing I do want to say is that you don't have to have a deity to practice witchcraft or Wicca. You could just call on the god and goddess, the lord and lady, the god and goddess of witchcraft, what have you. I know for a time when I was kind of like in my low point, which unfortunately happened frequently, getting out of it, working my way through it. Where I've kind of disconnected, where all my life has been so stressful that I just feel like I'm disconnected from everything, I call on the god and the goddess or the lord and lady to kind of bring that connection back. So, how would you know? Like I said, I think you would know if they were calling out to you. Like you would see their symbols, either their animals, the animals that are associated with them, or they may show up to you in a dream or meditation or call out to you during ritual. Um, and if you're like me and really hard-headed, you have to be told multiple times, because I was really hard-headed about a couple things. Like, I mean, and it was really weird. I love divination and I love looking for signs and stuff, but when I'm not actively looking, I do get really hard-headed, and I don't pay attention to obvious signs that I'm being spoken to by deity or spirit. And then they're making their presence known. It's like, hey, I want to work with you. Or you ask them a question that's like, hey, here's your answer. And then all of a sudden, boom, I get smacked upside the head to, here's your damn answer. Um, you know, you can always ask. But like I said, I've repeated myself. It's late at night, so I apologize. If you feel like you're drawn to a particular deity, get to know them. Do not go into working with a deity without doing your research. I don't advise that. I advise doing as much research as possible before calling them into your ritual space or working with them or talk. I mean, you can always talk to them and do research that way. I don't ever think talking to a deity is a bad thing. Um, I think you can get a lot of stuff out of there, and talking to them, you can kind of feel out their energies, because talking and praying, it's almost the same thing, because you're speaking with the divine. And when you do that, you can get a sense of, no, they really don't want to work with me, and I don't like their energies. They sounded really cool, but I don't like their energies. That's happened to me a couple times. Or they're really open and honest, or they want to work with you, but they have a lot of stuff they want to help you with. And so just research, put yourself out there. It sounds like I'm talking about dating. Research, put yourself out there, and ask as many questions from them, and ask for signs, and look for signs. So that's my point of view. Oh, it's not that bad. Okay, so Number 25. What symbols or images mean the most to you? I don't have it on. There are a ton of symbols that I use in my practice. I use um, the triple moon with the full moon in the middle, the waning and the waxing, um, or the waxing and the waning. I use that. I use the I'm gonna butcher this too. The triquetra, the power of 3 from Charmed. Um, I know. Hopefully, don't get offended by that. It's my favorite show. Um, but I use that symbol a lot. What's another symbol that I connect with? Just one more. It's really difficult because I don't really use, other than those two, I don't really use symbols unless, I guess, the horn god, the circle, and the horn on top. I guess we can say those three. So the triquetra, or triquetra, the triple moon symbol, and the horn god symbol are the three symbols that I attune with the most. So number 26, last question of the night. This may be a long one because it's, well, you'll see. What do different colors mean to you, and how do you use colors in your practice? Well, different colors for me, I guess I can start with the standard stuff. It all does depend. I do think my nose is running. Why is my nose running? Black and white. No, white I use for any, like if I don't have that particular color, I use white. And if I don't have white, which is rare, I will use purple. Purple for me is a like almost anything color. I don't know why. It's just one of the colors that I associate with royalty, spiritual power, psychic development. But I feel that it can be used for anything. Blue I use for healing, calming, bring in the water energy. I went from purple to blue. Green, money. Or also, I could use green for healing as well if I'm working with the Archangel Raphael. His color is green. And if I'm working with Gabriel, his color is blue. So if I want a sign or a divine symbol or a divine omen about something, and I want to work with him, I would work with blue. Yellow I use more for career. So if I want to get a new job, if or communication, opening up communication between two people, or just in general, calling in the element of air, if you want to think about it that way. Now I'm only thinking of these like in candles, but I do use colors and other things as well, and I can explain. I'll explain that after I finish my color list. So yellow, I did white, blue, green, purple, yellow, red, for power, for love. I don't really do a lot of love spells, but I mean, if I was going to do love spells, red's for love. For the mother, white for the maiden, black for the crone. Red's also really good. It's also another good folk magic for money, and for success. Orange for success, happiness, empowerment, energy of the sun. So brown I use for grounding out energies, like if the place needs to be cleansed. I will use a brown candle while I cleanse the place to with another white candle. It would be a black, brown to white. So it'd be the black candle absorbing negative energy, the brown grounding it, and the white to bring in the purity and the positive energy. So brown, the grounding, I use brown for working with animals, especially when visualization. I don't really use brown in color in candle magic. Black, getting rid of negativity, protection, hexing if need be, divination. Divination is also, I use purple as well. Silver and gold, I don't use them that much, but for me they represent the god and the goddess, the god being the gold and the goddess being the silver. So yeah, the list can go on and on what I can use different colors for, but and I really don't want this video to be super long, so I'm going to end my color explanation with that. But how do I use them in my practice? I use them in candle magic. I use them in creating mojo bags or sachet bags for spell work. I use them if I'm going, like, color associations, like if I'm going to do a spell or make a candle, and if it's just a white candle, I'll say a spell for money or something like that. A white candle, jar candle, I can sprinkle like green glitter inside of it, or wrap it in green paper and, you know, draw money symbols on it, you know, kind of like decoration, but kind of empower the candle with that color. I wear the different colors to work with my chakras, and I also have different color stones that I carry with me throughout the day, depending on how I feel in the morning when I go to work. They help me balance those chakras and balance the energies. I use them a lot in healing and visualization. So when I'm working with someone, when I do a Reiki session, I visualize the chakra colors and cleansing them out. And I also visualize, depending on what they're going through, I visualize color coming through my hands. You know, Reiki coming through me and then bursting out in color depending on what their situation is. Like if they need to calm down, like if they're super stressed out, I'll send them a deep, deep blue. Or if they need emotional healing, I'll send like a green. And it all depends. If they need a help ground, I'll use a brown. If they just need all around like high vibrational healing, I will visualize. Actually, I'll visualize either purple, golden light, or clear. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but clear for me is like a high vibrational. And I know it's not really a color, but the thing about clear quartz is extremely high vibrational. Well, it's not. I mean, there are other high vibrational stones other than higher than clear quartz, but it's very conductor, I guess you could say, for healing. So yeah. So I'm going to end my video with that before I go on for much longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the comment section below. I love to have a conversation with you guys. So until next time, many blessings.